My dear Naga brothers and sisters, in recent times, there have been varied debates on issues surrounding the Indo-Naga political issue, both in print and social media. This has resulted in misunderstanding and confusion with regard to the Naga political issue. Therefore, as chairman of the UDA government, I ardently appeal to all right-thinking Naga leaders to refrain from putting both statements based on personal speculation of the Indo-Naga political issue in public domain. In particular, overground Naga leaders who are under oath of allegiance to the Constitution of India must restrain themselves from making loose remarks on the matter. We understand that everyone, including lawmakers and public leaders, have the right to speak out for common welfare of the Naga people. However, one should remember that unlike the 1960s, when overground groups were part of the negotiation, it is the Naga nationalist group who are part of the negotiation today. In 1960, negotiation had taken place between the government of India and the Nagas, and the 16-point agreement was also executed between both the parties without the consent of undivided Naga National Council. As such, the armed conflict continues till today. Therefore, the perception of the present-day UDA government is focused on inclusiveness, which means all the Naga nationalist groups should be part of the long-awaited peace accord in order not to repeat the same mistake of the past. Any unwarranted statement made by Naga leaders which is outside the parameters of the ongoing negotiation between the Naga negotiating groups and the government of India will mislead the Naga people before the draft agreement is formulated by government of India and placed before the Naga leaders. It is important to appreciate the genuine efforts put in by the Naga negotiating groups and the government of India to bring about an amicable settlement to the Naga political issue. One should not believe that such a complex and sensitive issue will be inked secretly and imposed on our people. As desired by the Naga people, we trust and believe that once the negotiating parties have arrived at a common ground, they will surely consult all the apex tribal leaders and the state government before inking the final accord. While it is widely understood that the two sides have agreed to most of the competencies and have arrived at a meeting point, it is premature to come to conclusion that some of the key issues which the Naga people aspire will not be included in the agreement. There have been speculation that post-solution the present state of Nagaland will cease to exist. This, as we understand, is absolutely wrong. Likewise, the assumption that the Entanki National Park will be deforested by government of India and allotted to the Naga nationalist workers for resettlement is also outside the box of negotiation. It has been confirmed from both sides that such demands was never placed before the government of India by either of the negotiating group. It is totally a work of fiction and there is no truth in it, because even if such demand comes up in the near future, the government of India will never agree to such a proposal, as we were made known by the Indian representative of the peace talks. We are aware that the 60 MLAs of Nagaland have committed to pave way for smooth transition as and when a final settlement to the protected Indo-Naga political issue takes place. However, the demand for resignation of democratically elected members at this juncture by individuals and certain sections of the society is uncalled for. My dear brothers and sisters, we understand that every Naga leader has the right to tender his or her suggestion and advice, but the same should not be shaped out of one's desires to make an impact in the state political scenario and at the expense of the Naga political issue. Keeping this in mind, the present-day UDA government requests all Naga organizations and Naga leaders to avoid issuing public statements based on speculation and hearsays, as the same is bound to confuse and mislead the Naga people at this crucial juncture, when the Indo-Naga peace talks are at the threshold of a final breakthrough. Since formation of the UDA government under the leadership of Sri Nephew Rio, Chief Minister of Nagaland, we started working more vigorously towards Naga political solution by consulting negotiating parties and central leaderships like the Honorable Prime Minister and Home Minister, and at present things are moving with positivity. We conveyed the sentiments of the Naga negotiating groups to central leaders that Government of India should not change its stand from what had been committed to the Nagas in written through R.N. Ravi or A.K. Misra, because both represent Government of India, though in different times. In conclusion, I want to convey the message to both the Naga negotiating groups and the Government of India that both the parties should not back out from what has been committed to each other in written or in verbal during the last 25 years, so that the Naga people can expect the talks to come to a logical conclusion at the earliest. Thank you. May God continue to lead and guide the Naga people. Kuk Nalim.